So uNkosikhona Phakela Umthakathi Ndabandaba was taken to court by a foreigner. Well, we don't know what his legal status is in South Africa. So I am assuming that he actually believes that he's a South African citizen, hence he was able to build up this gall and the bravado, the chutzpah, and the smindi to take uPhakela Umthakathi to court. Now, I want to say something to foreigners, whether you are legally in South Africa or not legally in South Africa. But I want to focus more on those that got their legal status in South Africa, not the legit way. You are not a South African. I'm letting you know now. And it will be revealed if you did what this foreigner did to Phakela Umthakathi. Now, freedom of expression is enshrined in our constitution, and you are protected in South Africa to express yourself freely with speech. And there are provisions under Section 16 of the Constitution. But also in subsection 2, it limits itself the freedom of expression clause. But also, there's another section of the Constitution that is called the limitation clause. So what does that mean? Your freedom of expression is not 100% free. So that means there are responsibilities that you need to take the moment you express yourself freely. What am I talking about? So this foreigner in Kwanongoma, if you did not know about Kwanongoma, this is where the Zulu king lives. It's Godlo. Yeah, the throne of the king of the Zulus is at. This is like the union buildings of the Zulu nation, Kwanongoma. Let that sink in. I'm talking to the foreigners. Kwanongoma is not a place to play with. Our king might be a modern man, but he's still a Zulu king that oversees subjects that still believe in the spirit of the Zulus. You see, uPhakela Umthakathi is no ordinary man. That is Ibutho, the leader of Ibutho. If you're wondering what Ibutho now, if there had to be a war that breaks out with the Zulu nation from wherever it's coming from, that's when you will learn about Amabutho. Myself and my older brother, we are Amabutho. That is our leader. So if something had to happen, we'll have to drop everything that we are doing and get into formation. That's what we will have to do. We'll have to get to formation. And you see what Phakela Umthakathi is wearing? It's just the tip of the iceberg. When he is fully attired, that's when you will see who he is. But I'm not trying to intimidate you. I'm trying to also inform you whom you are taking to court and for what reason. He as Ibutho under the king of the Zulus, and he sees that the throne is getting compromised by forces that we don't know where they come from. For example, if you went to the union buildings and you were just loitering around, you are going to have Ramaphosa's Secret Service come over to you or maybe monitor you, for example. They'll just monitor you for X number of hours or even days. But at the same time, they're doing their background check on you. So same thing here. As the leader of Amabutho, and he sees that Isgodlo, or the kingdom, is being compromised, it is his duty as the leader of the warriors to know who's who in the zoo, who is the enemy. And one thing about Amabutho, you don't challenge them. To them, when you challenge, and this brings me back to what I want to say earlier, that the Zulu nation have been tamed. Those that know Zulus will tell you what type of people they are. And I'm not here to sing praises of the Zulus. There's a reputation that Zulu people have. If you go as recent as the 1980s and early 90s, and then you go backwards. It's not something that many South Africans appreciate, type of situation, because of the reputation. So over the years, they've been dumbed down. Dumbed down. So what I'm trying to say is anything that looks, sounds, or could be deemed as a challenge, the people like Pagilum Tagati, they have to go to the forefront and find out what is it. And they will have to wrestle with it. All right? So let's put that also aside. I'm not coming back to that one because it's your job as a foreign national in South Africa to learn about the history of all the nations of South Africa. All of us. The wars that we've been, wars we lost and won. And then you will be educated as to why Black South Africans were never slaves. You couldn't enslave a Black South African. Oh yeah, that's the history you guys try to distort all the time. We've never been enslaved before. Oppressed? Yes, we have been. Enslaved? No. So the last thing that we want is people like you doing the exact same thing that we had to fight wars about or for. And then you think we're just going to do what? Roll over and play. And then you have the audacity to go as far as Ulundi and Nongoma. You are disrespectful. You are disrespectful. Now, here is the thing that I want to come back to, the freedom of expression. And especially when you feel like, oh, I'm now a South African. I hold a South African ID. Once you take a person like Upagilum Tagate, and I am also saying to my leader, counteract. Take this Nigerian or foreign national that took you to court and lay your own lodge legal action. And you know why am I saying that? So that we get to the bottom of what gave him that bravado to take our leader to court. Now, I was hoping that this matter actually does process. It goes on because this is now what freedom of expression gets you into, this kind of trouble. It's called character prosecution. So you lodge let's say a lawsuit against me. I'll say, okay, let's go to court then. Especially if I know things about you, because those things that I know about you, I'm going to use them against you in court to discredit your application as a person that is dishonest, discredited, and should never even be granted whatever prayer that is in the application. So what do? You have given me permission in my defense to go into your background. You can't say, no. You can't give him that information. Oh, sorry. You asked for it. So that means as a foreign national that is in South Africa, you have given Pagilum Tagati the key to home affairs. Number one, Pagilum Tagati is going to want to know, where do you come from? And then, when did you get to South Africa? Did you ever left since you've been to South Africa? How long you've been in South Africa? How many women have you had in your life? And children that you have in South Africa with South African women? And if you are married, were legal processes followed? And now, because you think you're a South African citizen, how did you obtain your citizenship? And trust me, with these 8 questions, I'm sure it's more. You better be in the straight and narrow. Because if you came to South Africa with a visitor's visa and you never left, you were illegal in South Africa. On the day you married your South African wife, you were a criminal. That goes onto Pagelum Tagasi's favor. So that means you are in a marriage either of convenience or fraud marriage. And that's how you obtain your citizenship. Now, number 9, who gave you that citizenship at Home Affairs? How much did you pay for it? So that means you are facing jail. So every time when you think of wanting to take a South African to court, understand the key you are giving that South African to your life. As long as you are in South Africa and you hold a green barcoded ID. We want to know how you got it. And then, unfortunately, because that's the result is going to show that you are a criminal. You've been a criminal and always a criminal. So that means you've put your wife, your South African wife, in trouble. She's going to jail too for marriage fraud. Whether she knew it or didn't know it. Unfortunately, in South Africa, ignorance of the law is not a defense. So she can't come to court and say, "Hi, Benghazi, I did not know. I did not know." The court will say, "We don't care. The law is the law. Whether you knew or you didn't know, it's still the law." And she goes to jail. And Pagelum Tagati made an accusation that this foreign national is a drug dealer, which is another case on you, sir. So whenever you threaten a South African or you want to take a South African to court, think about it. Count the costs. Ask yourself, is it worth it? Trust me, it isn't. It isn't. Because that's the path you would put me as a South African to go digging in your background. And I might even go as far as wherever you come from. Find out what were you there. And in most cases, some of you guys are in South Africa as fugitives of the law from your country. You are the most wanted in your country. And you came here to South Africa for sanctuary or to hide. Can you imagine when I dig all that out? You will be extradited back to your country the moment the court says it rules in my favor. On a balance of probabilities. So think about it. Is your freedom of speech really free? I'm telling you now, it isn't. When you take a South African to court, which, by the way, whether you're a legal foreigner or a illegal foreigner or a South African, you have the right to approach a court for legal remedy. But will you be able to handle when your closet busts open and all them skeletons come running out? Well, it might not be in your context what I'm going to show you, but listen to this.
All of us there in the NEC have our smallanyana skeletons, and we don't want to take out all skeletons out because they will be, or hell will break loose.
So in other words, everybody has skeletons in their closet, especially those that are not natural South Africans. If you are a law-abiding foreign national, hey, good for you. Hopefully you never ever have to find yourself having to take a South African to court. You have the right to if they've wronged you. But just make sure that your closet, wherever you come from, does not have skeletons, because you'll be giving that South African the key to the closet when you lodge an application. So probably you're asking, but there have been court cases that have been won before by foreign nationals. Well, you're missing the point with that one. NGOs have been the ones that are taking South Africa to court. But if we had defense lawyers with a purpose, they would have dug into those NGOs, found out, or at least find out, where do you get the funding from to take South Africans to court? Or they also have skeletons in their closets. You will find some very questionable countries or questionable business people that donate money for these NGOs and NPOs to take South Africans to court. So these lawyers that goes to defend us, they don't have that will to do that, to dig into these NGOs. So they discredit their application. Because the people that defend us, or lawyers are supposed to be defending us, they're supposed to go deeper into the immigration law, go into Geneva Convention, UN policies and all of that stuff. But they don't do that. That is why these NGOs, they come to court and they misinterpret everyone has a right. South Africa belongs to all who live in it. Because nobody's defending that. Nobody's interpreting that. Because you need to take interpretation on the stand. Prosecute it if you have to. So that we come back with an intrinsic reason or meaning of that word. But they don't do that. And once they lose, they do not appeal. They leave us hanging. And of course, what do you expect the court to do when you are bringing a weak defense? It's going to rule in favor of the applicant, whether at a high court or the constitutional court. So, I don't know. I just thought, Babu Pagelom Tagat, take this man to court. It's your turn. Trust me, you will find out things and you will get the satisfaction seeing him in handcuffs and his wife. That's all I'm going to say. So if you are thinking that you are going to misuse and abuse our courts to try and silence South Africans, you are sadly mistaken. This is still not your country. This is our country. Anyways, I will leave this video right here. Some food for thoughts for illegal foreigners. Those that think they are now South Africans because they're married to South African women and they corrupted their way into our identity. Yeah. I know. The bubble bursts. Anyways, guys, I will see you next time with a new one. I thought, let me be as simple as I can in explaining this about us and our systems and our constitution. Go read section 36 of the constitution. That goes to everybody, including South Africans. Because I do see some South Africans who think because they are covered by the there are limitations. Read section 36. It's very short. It's not that long. Read it and see what you have and what you don't have. All right. Anyways, thank you all so much. Have yourselves a very good night. See each other in the morning. Good night.